Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me this morning for this virtual yoga practice. I'm Cassandra Foss from Mobile Om Yoga, and I'm here at the beautiful Confluence Park where we bring you this class every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for you to join us from wherever you are. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so happy to have you here. And before we begin, I would just like to take a moment to let you guys know a little bit of what makes this class possible. So our partners with the San Antonio River Foundation sponsor this experience as a year-long class from February through November, typically in person here at the park, but under current circumstances, we've been offering this class virtually since March of this year. I'm so grateful for our sponsors for making this possible. And before we begin, just to let you guys know, coming up on September 10th, it's a Thursday, is an event called the Big Give. And it's an opportunity for you to support all of the nonprofits that are doing really amazing work in our city. And so if you enjoy this class, I would like for you to perhaps think about supporting the San Antonio River Foundation, who create this beautiful park and bring experiences like this yoga class to you every Sunday morning. So thank you again to the San Antonio River Foundation for sponsoring this class. Thank you all for joining me. Let's go ahead and get started waking up this Sunday morning. We're going to start down on our mats in child's pose. So go ahead and come down. Bring your knees as wide as your mat. Big toes come together like a little wedge. And then you're just going to walk your fingertips all the way out towards the top of your mat, allowing your forehead to nestle down and rest onto the ground. Just take a moment, maybe rolling your shoulders or kind of shifting your hips around to settle in to your child's pose here. Really surrendering down into the ground. And close your eyes. Begin to take your awareness to your breath. Drinking in a nice, big, deep inhale. And a big, full, complete exhale. Perhaps doing the exhales through your mouth to begin here. Deep inhale, up and in through the nose. And a big sigh as you get empty. One more breath, just like that. Big inhale, maybe you walk your fingertips a little longer. And then big exhale. Settle those hips back. On your next inhale, begin to lift yourself up, rolling slightly, bringing the shoulders over the wrists, and then we'll stack into tabletop. Wrists underneath your shoulders, knees come under the hips. And then inhale allows the belly to drop, the gaze to lift, really finding the stretch into cow pose. And then as you exhale, we'll do the opposite. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, round yourself out. So with your breath, continue in this movement, inhaling to arch the spine, to lift the gaze, open the heart. And the exhale to tuck and round, pressing the back of your heart up towards the ceiling or the sky above. One more inhale, really stretching the belly down, lifting up the gaze, maybe lifting the corners of your mouth this morning. Exhale, tuck your chin, press the mat away, round yourself out. And then one more inhale, just find yourself into a neutral spine. You're just going to begin to sit your hips back onto your heels and walk your hands onto your knees. So the hands are going to just kind of stay right there. You're going to lift your hips and just bring them over to one side. So I'll come to face you. So you're just kind of sitting on one side of your feet, and you can arrange your feet however they feel comfortable here. Sit up nice and tall, and your left hand is going to stay to the outside. You've bumped your hips over to the right, outside of your feet. You're going to inhale that right arm nice and high, and then start to arch over towards the left side, finding a side body stretch here. Try to keep both shoulders sinking away from your ears. Wake up the navel to help you sit nice and tall even though you're arching over. And then letting the breath help you open up the right rib cage here. One more breath in and out. And then go ahead and bring that right hand down towards the ground. Inhale. inhale, bring the left arm up, and you're just gonna kind of take it all the way around towards that right hand. So both hands are together. You're already getting a twist here. Start to twist your shoulders over that right hip. Take an inhale, get tall, and as you exhale, see if you can walk your hands a little deeper. And then maybe you straighten that left leg to the inside of your right foot. So that'll help kind of get a deeper stretch this morning. Big breath in and breath out. If you've straightened that left leg, go ahead and bend it back. Walk your hands back so you're sitting on that right hip. Keep the right hand rooted down, straighten that left leg, and then pop up off of your right hip. We're in a modified side plank here. Extend your left arm long, and now you're stretching through the left side body. And then go ahead and settle your hips down. Rebend the left knee next to your right. Using the right hand, pop yourself up through the center, hips onto heels, and then pop up and over to the outside of your to the left side of your heels. All right, you'll inhale, sit up nice and tall here. The right hand's gonna stay rooted right next to your feet. Begin to lift the left arm tall to the sky. Take an inhale for length, and as you exhale, leaning over to the right side. Really reaching through the left fingertips as you stay grounded in that left hip, and bringing the breath to open up the left rib cage here. Big deep breath in and out. On your inhale, go ahead and come upright. Left hand comes to the outside of your hip. Inhale, right arm reaches all the way up and around. You should start to feel this already twisting in the spine. Sit up nice and tall. And you can just walk your hands a little deeper to get the twist, and maybe straighten that right leg out. Just kind of helps to get a little deeper into that low back twist. One more breath in and out. And then go ahead, bend your right knee again. If it's straight, come back upright. Left hand plants, re-straighten your right leg, and we're popping up off of that left hip now, finding that modified side plank. Nice side opening. One more breath in and out. And then go ahead and settle back onto the left hip. Bend your right knee, and then just pop yourself back into neutral. So now you're just sitting on your heels at the back of the mat. Inhale, let's sweep the arms up to the sky, a half upward salute, big stretch. Exhale, go ahead and sit back onto your heels. Bring your hands behind you, bring the fingertips into the earth, turning the fingertips towards your body, rolling those shoulders back. As you inhale, you just press into the mat, puff the chest up. You can stay right here, or maybe lifting the hips off the heels a little deeper. And then go ahead and settle your hips back down to your heels. Walking yourself back upright. One more time. Inhale into that upward salute. As you exhale, begin to hinge from the hips, folding forward. Bring the hands to the mat. Walk them down. We're going to find a puppy pose. So hips stay over the knees. Fingertips walk forward, and the forehead's going to root down, just like we did in child's pose. Take a moment to re-root, re-ground through the tops of the feet, knees, and shins. Same thing with the hands. Spread the fingers, press through the palms. Lift the elbows. Wake up your shoulders. See if you can roll them away from the ears. Take a deep breath in and out here. With that exhale, melting your heart space, melting the chest down and back. Let's do one more. Big breath in. Exhale, letting the heart melt. On your next inhale, begin to lift yourself upright, shifting your body forward, tuck your toes, and just shifting into downward facing dog. So the legs are going to straighten this time. Walking out your knees one at a time, waking up this morning. And then neutral, knees are bent, hips lifted. Spread the fingers, find your breath. Big inhale. Let it all out. One more breath just like that. Big breath in. And big breath out. And then take your gaze to the top of your mat and begin to tiptoe your feet all the way forward till they meet your hands, about hip width distance apart. On an inhale, halfway lift, sliding that heart nice and long, trying to find a flat back. On the exhale, bend your knees a lot so that the belly comes to meet the thighs, And then just allow the upper body to dangle here. Fingertips can come and be heavy towards the earth, or you can reach across and grab opposite elbows, just allowing your weight of your head, your skull, to help decompress the spine, letting your brain drain. Big breath in, and exhale it out. And release down through the fingertips. Slowly rooting through the feet, slowly start to unravel, unwind all the way up to feet, like you're growing from those strong roots of your feet up towards the proverbial sunshine, like a flower blossoming here. Step your feet together, big toes come to touch. Spread your fingers wide. We're finding our nice open Tadasana pose, standing at attention. Take an inhale, reach your arms all the way up towards the sky. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center. So we're going to find a mudra today, the Garuda mudra, which is from your hands together, you're going to hook your thumbs, and we're going to cross our heart, just kind of like wings of a bird. Garuda is kind of a mythical eagle. So you're going to bring your hands just like that across the chest here. You're going to inhale, lift your heart up into your hands, really using your hands as a grounding point to lift that energy. And then as you exhale, come back to center. Now you're going to inhale, you're going to hook your thumbs above your head. So it's kind of a weird twist to where you're creating that same little bird above your head. This time you're going to pull those apart, roll the shoulders down, and then find that lift away from the ground, growing up towards that proverbial sunshine. And as you exhale, release your thumbs, release the hands, coming all the way into a forward fold, bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, palms to the earth, shift into your right foot. Start to lift your left leg back. Pause with just the heel pressing behind you. And then slowly begin to bend your right knee. Let your left toes fall to the back of your mat. And then you're going to bend your left knee to the floor. Uncurl your left toes. Stay here and sink down. Look forward. Start to lift the crown, lift the heart. Check your alignment, ankle under knee. And then you can start to stack your hands up on your front thigh. As you sink the lower body, the hips forward, draw the navel up and in, and start to find a little more opening in your heart. You're going to bring those hands to cross the heart, finding your Garuda mudra here. Using the hand just simply as a grounding place to lift your heart, to lift your breath. And then we're going to lift the hands above the head, hook the thumbs, and for one more moment, pull those thumbs apart. Slide the shoulders back, lift the heart. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring the hands around that right foot. You're going to bring the right knee to meet the left knee. We're taking a modified chaturanga. So you inhale here with the knees down, modified plank. And then keeping the hips high as you exhale, just lower your chest and your chin down to the mat. So it looks kind of funky. And then you're just going to kind of wiggle and slide like a snake on your belly up into cobra pose. Lift the heart, squeeze the elbows. Exhale, lower to the belly. Making your way back up to downward facing dog. And then inhale, look between your hands, shifting weight to your right foot. Take a step with your left foot to the front of the mat. And then lower that right knee and uncurl your right toes. Sink your hips forward, lifting through the heart. Making sure your ankle's right underneath the knee. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to stack on your front thigh. Keep sinking forward, lifting the navel, lifting the gaze. And then hook your thumbs. Try to notice which palm you naturally bring in front. See if this side you can bring the opposite. Lifting the heart up into the hands. You can stay here. Or again, hooking over your head, seeing which thumb comes natural and trying to take the opposite side. Pull those thumbs apart. Shoulders are sliding down the back. Perhaps you lift the gaze. One more full breath in here. Exhale it out. And then release your hands to come around the left foot. A little different transition this time. Tuck your right toes, lift the right knee. Walk your hands forward. You're going to step into the left foot, just like we transitioned backwards, lifting the right foot, and then bringing the right foot to meet your left foot. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise all the way up. And as you exhale, bring your hands across the heart, finding your Garuda Mudra. All right, inhale. This time you're going to begin to lift that left knee up in front of you. So just kind of like a bird to take flight, we have to feel light. So start to lift up out of your foundation while staying strong and stable. And then we're going to tilt the heart forward as you kick your left heel back, just like an airplane, keeping the hands on the heart for stability, pulling long, like tug of war, heart forward, heel back. And then this time, bend the right knee. Trust your left toes to find it behind you. Sink into a regular crescent lunge, back knee lifted. Maybe a little tippy. You can always bring that back knee to the ground. When you're ready, let's reach overhead, hook the thumbs, pull the elbows away from one another, slide the shoulders down the back. Get really deep in that front knee. Taking one more inhale, lift up and open. As you exhale, go ahead and release the hands and interlace them behind the back. You're going to spin your back heel to the ground so it's nice and stable. Start to square yourself forward into Warrior One. Letting the hands stay interlaced, lift and open up the heart here. And then we'll take an exhale to Humble Warrior. Begin to bow to the inside of that right thigh. Pause perhaps about halfway down, realign, square the hips. I'm even walking my stance a little shorter. And then if you can, see if you can just melt the crown of your head so that it hangs to the inside of your foot. And maybe you've reached the hands off of the back, if that feels nice to you. Take a breath in and a breath out. On your next inhale, begin to lift your heart. Lift all the way upright. Back into Warrior One, fingertips to the sky. As you exhale, come down, surround the right foot. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Right foot meets the left. Your choice to keep the knees lifted. We'll take a traditional chaturanga or back to that modified version. Either place, we're going to find Cobra, lifting up the chest. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Lifting up and back, finding your downward dog again. This time, shifting into that left foot. Inhale the right leg nice and straight behind you. Toes are all facing down. Your heels reaching up away from the ground. Take another inhale. As you exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Slow motion to bring that right foot between your hands. Staying on the ball of that back foot once again. You're going to inhale. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, just lean the torso forward. Bring the hands behind you. And imagine now you're that Garuda. You're that eagle. You're going to fly. Inhale, bend back, straighten the arms to the sky, finding that nice crescent lunge. Exhale, lean forward. Imagine your heart's leading the way. One more time. Inhale, reach up, finding crescent lunge. And then as you exhale, hands come back. This time we really are going to fly. So maybe you take a couple steps forward, shorten your stance, leading from the heart. Start to step into that right foot. You don't have to lift your back leg very far. Once you find it, maybe you find your full, open-hearted airplane pose. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, step into that right foot. Stay strong. See if you can lift the left knee, lift your fingertips. And then on your exhale, go ahead and settle that left foot down. Go ahead and shake out your right leg. And then we're going to come back together, embrace the power of this mythical Garuda bird, and find that mudra right across your heart. Standing up nice and tall here. This time your left foot's going to be your foundation. As you root through the left foot, begin to lift that right knee. Pause. Notice you have to be super aware to balance. Nice and focused, begin to tilt forward, kicking that right heel back, using your hands against the heart to kind of keep the heart lifted. There's a tendency to want to collapse in the chest here. And then one more breath, really reaching through that right heel, starting to bend in your left knee. Catch yourself with the right foot and pause. You can always take that right knee down for a modification. See, I'm already getting kind of wobbly here. So take a moment, find your own stability, that place that you can begin to expand out of. And then we'll reach over the head, hook the thumbs, and really expand. Again, this can be done with the knee down, still finding your heart lifting up and away from the ground. And then as you exhale, release the hands. Begin to spin the back heel to the mat as you interlace the hands behind the back. Re-square your hips, shoulders to the front. Re-bend in that left knee over the ankle. Inhale here, and as you exhale, we're bowing into that humble warrior. So maybe pause about halfway down. Re-square the hips. Re-root the back foot, get long. And then bow all the way into the inside of the left foot. Take a few breaths here. Maybe you let the head release. Maybe you lift the hands. One more breath in and out. On your next inhale, go ahead and come all the way upright. Reach all 10 fingers to the sky. And as you exhale, bring your hands to surround the left foot. We're finding our way to down dog through a vinyasa. So left foot meets the right, maybe the knees lifted, taking your version of chaturanga. You can also skip this entirely and just meet us in downward dog. From here, the left leg's going to begin to extend behind you. Keep it nice, long, and straight. Reaching it back, pressing through the palms. Take another inhale to lift through the left heel. As you exhale, slow motion, begin to bring that left knee forward. Step the foot between your hands. Nice. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Inhale, rise into your crescent lunge once again. You'll be a little tippy here perhaps. But like that Garuda, like a bird, birds fly because they take themselves lightly. So if you're feeling really heavy, start to find that lift in the heart. You can imagine your hands here. Maybe the hands are here. You can maybe take them above for a moment, really finding the heart opening. Take an inhale in this crescent lunge. As you exhale, bring the hands back. Heart leads the way. Inhale, lift the torso, lift the fingers. Exhale, hinge forward, hands back. One more time. Inhale, reach it up, stretch it tall. Exhale, lean forward, hands back, pause. Imagine where you're going so you can feed yourself what you need. Maybe a few steps with the back foot. Stepping into the left foot, reach the right leg high. Open up the heart, reach to the fingers. Let yourself fly. One more breath. And then go ahead. We're going to begin to bring the right knee up to the chest, fingers to the sky. And then the right foot comes to meet your left. Let's shake it all out. Beautiful practice, guys. Inhale, let's stretch ourselves high. Exhale, fold it over. Inhale, flat back. Palms to the mat. Complete another chaturanga or skip it. Coming straight to down dog. I'm going to take a skip so those feel a little more empowered if that's more what your morning's calling for. Take a deep breath in. And exhale it out. On your next inhale, begin to shift yourself forward into high plank. Drop the knees if you need to, and then lower yourself all the way down to the belly. You're going to reach your right arm out to the right side, just kind of like a wing, straight out to the right. And then begin to turn your body over to that right side. So you're laying on the right side, right hip. You begin to bend that upper knee, the left knee. Open it to the sky and step the left foot to the outside of your right leg. A nice little twist and shoulder opener here. Your left hand can stay rooted, or you can reach it up and perhaps around the low back. Finding a little deeper opening throughout the whole chest and shoulders here. Letting your breath continue to try to lift up into the chest. If you have that bind, unwind, rolling back onto your belly. And then left arm comes out. We'll come straight to the other side. Starting to roll onto the left side. Bending the right knee, set it to the outside of your left leg. Right hand can stay grounded or reach to the sky and around for a bind. Big full breath in and out. You took the bind, begin to unwind. And then everyone roll back onto your belly. And then go ahead and just bring your hands down by your side. Turn your palms to face the earth. Once again, we're going to fly, kind of like Superman, or we can imagine like our Garuda, our mythical bird who flies over to get perspective, a bird's eye view of our life, right? We're separating ourselves from all the things that weigh us down. So inhale, begin to first find some flight in the chest, just lifting up, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then lift the legs so that you're really finding most of your weight grounded right around the hip area. And then you can lift your hands, spread your fingers, squeeze your shoulders. And take an inhale, lift. And as you exhale, lower. Bring the hands under the shoulders. As you inhale, press yourself up. And then bring your hips to meet your heels. Knees stay narrow. And swing your hands back by your heels. And then bringing yourself back up. Once again, like we found earlier, sitting on your heels at the back of the mat. This time you're just going to lift back up, finding yourself standing on the shins. We're going to take an inhale, lift your arms up, and like you're taking a double backstroke, reach the arms back, and then bring them to your low back. So we got a nice lifted open heart here. You're going to start with the hands at the low back so we protect our back here. Feel the tailbone tuck. And you're pressing those hips forward. First step is to keep this nice, stable, secure base. Inhale, start to lift the chest, lift the heart. As you exhale, as you wrap the elbows back, lean back. If you need the stability on the low back, keep the hands there. Want to try something new? Find your Garuda Mudra on the chest to remind you to keep lifting. So we're not worrying so much about how far back we go, it's how high we can go before going back. It's a little more challenging. We have to use a little more core strength here as well. One more breath in. And exhale it out. So go ahead and come upright. This time you're going to tuck your toes under and let your weight come back onto your heels. So we're finding fire toes. Bring your palms together on your heart center. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, interlace your hands round the back. Press your palms forward. Inhale, reach up, hook your thumbs, finding that Garuda Mudra above your head. Exhale out into the nice open cactus arms like wings. And then bring the hands behind the back. Take an inhale, press the knuckles down, heart lifts. And then as you exhale, go ahead and bring the hands back to your thighs. Lift your hips off of your heels and go ahead and tap out those toes. Got nice fire going on down there. All right, once again, you're going to inhale, reaching your arms up, taking them like a backstroke. Maybe the same thing, supporting your back. Even fingertips can face up. Moving into your camel pose. If you liked the hands at the heart, bring them into that Garuda Mudra. Finding something new here, a place to take yourself lightly, fly high. Maybe the head falls back. Your next inhale, come upright. Keeping the tops of the feet on the mat. Sit your hips back onto your heels. And then just release your hands here. You're going to take an inhale, lifting up through the heart. As you exhale, we've been here before. You're going to take your hands back behind you, fingertips towards the feet, lifting up the chest, keeping open here. You can stay here, but instead of lifting your hips off of your heels, start to see if you can lift your knees. So you get a stretch in the tops of your feet. And taking just a couple of breaths here. And go ahead and lower your knees down to the mat. Coming to sitting on the knees. Just pop your hips over to one side and begin to reach your legs around towards you in front. Shake out the knees and then go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together and your knees wide. You can bring the heels as close or as far away as feels comfortable for you. Take an inhale, lift and lead with the heart. As you exhale, finding a nice deep forward fold so that you're pulling the heart long. So you should feel this coming all the way down to stretch out the lower back. Instead of kind of collapsing and feeling the stretch in the mid-back when it rounds, trying to imagine you're pulling that heart long. So a great place to come here, we've been there quite a few times, is to take the fingertips behind you, press them back. It's like an arrowhead, like you're leading with your heart. See if that helps you perhaps to encourage that spine to be nice and straight. Taking one more breath in and out. And as you inhale, begin to come all the way back upright. Turn your knees to face up towards the sky, bringing your feet to the floor. Then slowly begin to lower yourself onto your back on the mat all the way onto the ground. Draw the knees into the chest, roll the lower back into the mat. Nice. And then go ahead and let the soles of your feet come up to the sky for just a moment. You can support this by holding behind the thighs, or maybe you rock your hips up and let your hands create a little cushion. Maybe move around your feet and your ankles, point and flex the toes. Just letting your feet get some love and attention right now. One more moment in this waterfall pose. Allowing circulation to trickle down. This is a great beginner inversion. You don't have to get fancy with headstands or handstands to get the same benefits of taking those feet up. One more breath in and out here. And go ahead, and if you have the hands under the back, let the hands come out. Hug your knees together into your chest. Let your knees come wide. We'll find happy baby, feet towards the sky, grabbing on to the edges of your feet. Shoulders roll down towards the mat. Try to roll your tailbone down. You can find happy baby, just letting yourself rock from side to side. Feeling this nice massage in the low back. Finding a neutral space as you continue to breathe here. And then let the soles of the feet come together, those knees butterfly towards the top of your mat. Feeling one more stretch in the inner thighs. Keeping the feet together, release the hands, and then bring the knees together like a book. Take an inhale here. Open up your arms out side to side. As you exhale, knees are going to fall over to the left side. Few options here. You can stay neutral with the chin and your gaze just up to the sky or the ceiling. Or maybe you turn over that right arm. Since I'm not around to give you the nice, yummy hands-on assist, perhaps you give yourself some love. Take your left hand, either place it on your thigh or on your knee. And as you root down, you can stretch that right shoulder the opposite way to the ground. And you'll feel a little deeper, a little more supported in this twist. Go ahead and release. If you gave yourself that support, we'll inhale the knees up through center. And then we'll exhale, let the knees fall over towards that right side. Same options, you can look up or turn your chin over the left shoulder. And then maybe your right hand gives yourself that nice deepening assist, pressing on the thigh or the knee. And then working that left shoulder the opposite way. Big full breaths here. One more breath in and out. Begin to roll back into the center of your back. Let's give the knees one more squeeze in. Knees come into the chest. Nose comes up towards the knees. Hug around your shins. Tighten yourself into this big ball of gratitude, of gratefulness, and appreciation for being here this morning. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale, release it out, finding your final Shavasana. Legs extend, palms turn up, maybe even walking those shoulder blades to keep your heart nice and open here. Eyelids closed. And connect to your breath here. This practice was designed to prepare us for this. Prepare us to be still, and to allow whatever arises just to move through us without attachment. To give us the space to rest and digest, and just to simply find comfort in our being. So find comfort in your breath and your being here this morning, if for nothing else, but just taking the time away from whatever else is going on in your life, to tune in to yourself and to commit yourself to something bigger. So no matter what comes up, it's up to you to make that choice, to come back to the state of being, just being and breathing and allowing, not being weighted down by the distractions or the worries, but like the Garuda, like a bird, we can choose to lighten our load so that we can fly above. Fly above and see that bird's eye perspective, how the pieces in our lives can fit together to help us grow. Taking one more moment here, just breathing, and think about what it is you want to feed this morning, what you want to nourish, to grow. Because where our awareness and our attention goes, that is what grows. So choose wisely. And just beginning as you breathe here to let your awareness come back into the beauty of your body, bringing movement to the fingers, toes, hands, and feet. Really expanding back into your breath. Maybe one last time you extend arms overhead, hooking your thumbs into that Garuda Mudra, stretching in opposite directions, fingers to heels. And then drawing your knees in one last time to give yourself that nice big hug around your shins. You can roll yourself to either side, or maybe you rock yourself upright. However you want to find a comfortable seated space to close our practice together. Finding your sit bones rooted into the earth. Bringing your palms across the heart to find that Garuda Mudra one last time. Lifting your breath up into the warmth of your palms. If your eyes aren't closed, go ahead and close your eyes. And as you bring awareness into this lifting motion, into this energy of opening the heart, one more time, imagine what it is that you would like to feed and nourish this week. Where our attention goes, our energy flows. And if we want to lift up and fly high like a bird in the sky, we have to choose to let go of some of that weight of worry and trust the lightness, the enlightenment of our own wisdom. One more breath here. Bring the palms together, letting that energy seal in, spreading the fingers wide, bringing the thumbs to your third eye, and acknowledging not only your own wisdom that brought you here, but the commitment of this community to hold each other accountable and to hold this space from afar. So acknowledging those who are practicing with us this morning. From my heart to each and every one of you, I'm full of gratitude that you joined me this beautiful morning. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Namaste.